Professor Winston Langley, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and expert in human rights and international relations, traveled to Japan to confer an honorary doctorate upon Daisaku Ikeda in November 2011. This was his first encounter with Mr. Ikeda.
Mr. Ikeda himself, I thought that there were several things that impinged on me in my first encounter with him. The first was his ability to break up formal structures. I remember there was a formal occasion that had been preserved, at least arranged for the meeting. And once he entered the room, all of that formality collapsed. The second thing that was very clear was his ability to capture an audience. I see that as part of a sort of charisma that leaders tend to have. Part of that is not simply that one may be physically overpowering in any way. It is that one seems to have a special sense of the audience. It's as if he could feel and taste and sum up what people were feeling around him, as it were, and responded to it.
Well, I happen to think that dialogue is at the heart of how human spirituality externalizes itself. And I think human spirituality is stronger than the weapons of mass destruction that human beings have created. In fact, those very weapons are very often used for what is considered to be some of the very ends which a dialogue and human spirituality seeks. For example, they say they are peacemakers. Now we know that wars do not in any wise lead to peace, because the peace Mr. Ikeda is speaking of is not simply the absence of war. He is speaking of a state of being, a particular cultural development of human beings, within which the respect for the other forbids the use of force against him or her. The Irish conservative Edmund Burke said that all that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. Well, there are a lot of good people who have not been standing up for peace, for the sanctity of life. He has been one who has, and not in one country, but every country in which he has had a chance to have a reach. And he has done so on the basis of the facing of dangers to himself and the organization he leads. True courage is an expression of a willingness to embrace danger, and that's what it will take to advance the century of peace, the 21st century.